1999. What a victory for the Sri Lankans. A fantastic effort.
Here's the man who's been largely responsible for us over the last.
The first World Cup, that is a thrill of joy, and England.
Hello to all of you on another exciting episode of Match Point by Dr. Adnan. Last time when I came to the show, I did promise you guys that when next time I will be on the Match Point, there will be a cricket mega superstar with me. And today we are having the superstar. But still, fingers are crossed, and I'm not gonna tell you that who will be with me in the couple of minutes. But growing in the area where cricket was the primary sports, in my childhood, just like you guys, I was fond of cricket. And when I was following cricket in those days, those were the eras of the fast bowlers. Andy Roberts, Jewel Gardners, Michael Harding, Malcolm Marshall, Surinder Clark, Imran Khan, Sikandar Bakht, and the stream of Pakistanis and the West Indian bowling lineup, and of course the Aussies. Who can forget Jeff Thompson, Dennis Lillee? So that was the era when, as a childhood hero, I was taking them and seeing them as a role model. I was liking them from the Pakistan, the great Sarfraz Nawaz, the spell in the Melbourne, and then the great Imran Khan, the Pakistan's PM, his spell in the Sydney. Who can forget that times? Those were the days. Richard Headley from the New Zealand. So the things were going on and on. And Australia was famous of producing the fast bowlers, and those were the days of Lillee and Thomo. And they ruled the world with the fastest balls with the Thomo until the record being broken up in the 2003 World Cup by the Shoaib Akhtar of Pakistan. So we were there in the 70s. From the 70s, an era came when the things were progressing, and then the era was shifting in the 80s when the Team Australia was beaten in the 1983 World Cup by the Keem Hughes side. The young Australian side was beaten up, and later on the whole structure of the Australian cricket changed, and we saw a lot of Australian cricketers with the likes of Colin Rackman, Thomo and Lillee were wearing out with the age, and we were seeing the Colin Rackman, Merv Hughes, Terry Alderman, and a lot more cricketers like that. And then the reins were taken by the Allan Border after Keem Hughes' side was beaten by the Zimbabwean side, the first ever biggest upset of the Cricket World Cup in 1983. And then we reached to the late 80s when the Allan Border took the team, and there came the addition of a magnificent Steve Waugh, and then the Simon Ordinal. He jumped into the Australian cricket team. And of course, when we talk about the 1987 World Cup, how can we forget the heroes of the Aussies and the heroes for the 1987 World Cup, for them working out perfectly for them, especially the names of the Greg McDermott and the great Bruce Reid, who put Javed Miandad's Pakistan best batsman out of the competition in the 1987 semi-finals. Those were the days of the 1987 Reliance World Cup when out of a blue moon the upset happened and they beat Pakistan, the favorites of the 1987 World Cup, in the Lahore Gaddafi Stadium in front of a packed 25,000 ground, and then later on that Australian side reached Calcutta, where to meet the old all-time English arch rivals Mike Getting's England which were the team to beat and men in form, men in blue at that time. And in the Calcutta Eden Gardens, would you believe, Team Australia at then, which was the weakest team of the tournament and not at all the favorites to win that World Cup, they beat England by the 7 runs, the shortest ever margin to win the World Cup grand finale. And then the era came, we reached to the 90s, and then there was an addition of the fast bowlers. Simon Ordnell was wearing out, Stephen Waugh, ultimately he became the captain of the Australian team. And then there was an addition of a Glenn McGrath, Brett Lee, Sean Tate, and lot of promising Australian cricketers in the Australia team. And then we saw in those days of Sean Tate, the fastest bowling of the Brett Lee, and then we saw the line and length and the accuracy, which was never like this before in the history of the game. So in the 141 years history of the cricket, we saw the best line and length and the best accuracy with the Australian pacemen, with the Glenn McGrath, Brett Lee, and these were the guys who took Australia to the peak. This was the era after 1987 World Cup until 2007 World Cup. If I take these 20 years were the magic years of Australia. Why I say the magic years? In between these years, Australia played 5 World Cups finals. 5 World Cup finals Australia played, and only one time Australia lost the grand finale, and that was 1996 in Lahore versus Ranatunga's Sri Lanka. So if I move further and if I leave away 1996 World Cup final, onwards 1999 World Cup final in the Lords on 20th of June 1999, when Wasim Akram's Pakistan were about to face Team Australia and they were favourite to win the cup. But all the things happened against the trump cards and Pakistan was beaten since 1999. And then until 2007, over today's superstar, he is having a unique feat of playing all the World Cups. He played for Cricket Australia for the span of about 14 years from 1993 to 2007. And in between this time, Australia played World Cup 4 times. And these 4 times, Australia reached to the grand finals 4 times. And in the last attempt in the 2007, when Team Sri Lanka was beaten by Australia, he remained the man of the tournament for the World Cup for his brilliant 26 wickets. He is having a unique feat of achieving 71 wickets in the World Cup games. This is maximum by any cricketer in the history of the game. Yes, we are soon gonna introduce you. He has taken in the fast bowling, he has taken 563 wickets, which was the world record for the fast bowler for the maximum wickets in the history of a cricket game, until the record has been recently broken by the James Anderson of England, and he has improved it with the 9 wickets. So I think this is it. Your fingers will be crossed and you will be thinking that who is the guest who is right on the Match Point forum. But before going to the guest, I'm just going to the guest and will take you to the room where he is waiting for the Match Point team. But we are here at the Fat Sports Complex in the Vaughan, Ontario. And this is the beginning of the new era and the beginning of a new sensational sports club, and I hope this will go a long way in the needs of a cricket crazy fans in Ontario. So let's see who is with me, who is waiting in the room, and then we will be joining you soon afterwards. Yes, as I have promised you on the Match Point by Dr. Adnan, we will be bringing some brand new guest and a brand new superstar. And today we are having a superstar right with us. But before introducing you, I just want to tell you, in his cricketing career, from 1993 to 2007, he played, and in fact, Australia played 4 World Cups, and he is having one and the only ever cricketer in the history of cricket to have played all the World Cup's grand finale. When he was with the Australian team, it never happened that Australia never reached to the grand finale of the World Cup cricket finals. In his cricketing careers, he has played 4 World Cup finals, and in the last 3, he was having the success rate of 100%, with the top success in the last one, 2007, when he grabbed 26 wickets and he was the man of the tournament at the end of the show. He is having a magnificent 563 wickets in his Test career, which were maximum at the one time until James Anderson of the English team has broken this record. Cap number 358, proud green baggy cap, Glenn McGrath right in front of me. Hello, Glenn.
G'day, how you going?
Yeah, Glenn, how are you?
I'm going very well, it's good to be here.
First of all, what are the feelings of becoming the part of the Fat Sports and coming in the Toronto?
Yeah, very proud to be here and to be opening this state-of-the-art facility. When I was invited over, I jumped at it. I love coming to Canada. The people here are amazing, and to set up a state-of-the-art facility like this when there's not too many in Toronto, I think it's a great concept for young cricketers, hopefully here in Toronto, to have the opportunity to play cricket, especially during the winter when it is pretty cool here at the moment.
And Glenn, what are your beliefs? What are the future of the cricket in this part of the world you are seeing? The crazy cricket nation over here and lot of mixed nations are over here. And where you are seeing the cricket over here?
I just love the game itself, and the more worldwide game we can make it and more countries playing, the better for the sport. And we've just had the T20 tournament over here, the Canadian tournament over here, which I think has got a lot of potential. I like to see more countries, more people playing cricket. It's something I have a love and passion for, and you can't play without state-of-the-art facilities, without quality facilities. So this is definitely one of them.
Glenn is running working for a very proud cause. Is a Glenn McGrath Foundation, which was laid back in the 2002. The Jane, rest in peace, Jane and Glenn McGrath was with the prime factors who just came to put on this foundation. And we will just ask Glenn McGrath that where he is seeing and what are the functions of this foundation, and where you are seeing the vision of this foundation.
Yeah, no, it's going along incredibly well. The support for the McGrath Foundation has been absolutely amazing. We relaunched as the McGrath Foundation in 2005 with 2 very clear objectives. One was to raise awareness of breast cancer, also in younger women, and the other one was to raise funds to place breast care nurses in communities right across Australia. Unfortunately, my late wife lost her battle in 2008, and as I sit here now, we have 131 McGrath breast care nurses working right across Australia. They've supported more than 70,000 families, individuals going through breast cancer. So hearing those numbers inspires me to keep going, to know what we're doing is making a big difference. So very proud of the support we've received for the foundation. You look at the Sydney Pink Test, 11 years that's been going for, and just the way people have come out and supported it is absolutely amazing, and it's making a positive difference in a lot of people's lives.
And the third day is called as a Jane Day, right?
It's Jane McGrath Day, day 3, which it's a nice honour for my family.
In the 2005 Ashes, he became the first ever Australian to hit the 500 Test wickets when he took the wicket of Marcus Trescothick and Michael Atherton. Who doesn't know the English captains who were the favourite bunnies of Glenn McGrath? He was targeting them before the series, and then he was really in the hunt of them. For the record, 19 times he have dismissed Mike Atherton, and later on also the Strauss and the Michael Vaughan. What was that special, Glenn, about that?
I like to have a bit of fun and target a few opposition batsmen. Sometimes or most of the time, whichever was their best batsman, and if it was the captain as well, it was a bonus. So it was just the way I could put a little bit of pressure back on their opposition team and challenge myself, and I enjoyed it. And if they were good enough to beat me at my own battle, then so be it. But I was lucky enough that I won quite a few of them, but it was an amazing Australian team that I was involved in.
James, Holly and Madison. Who's the favourite hero, and who is going to the dad's boot?
So I have 3 children. My son James is 19, my daughter Holly's 17, and little Maddie's 3. So a little bit of a gap there, but I love them all. They're amazing. Family's the most important thing to me, and to see them all happy now after they've been through some tough times, and my wife Sarah now is an amazing person. So I love them all equally.
You were the part of the MRF Foundation back in India since the start of the 1987. Dennis Lilly was there, and then 2012 you took the reins.
Yeah.
And having plenty of bowlers, we have seen Irfan Pathan, Shami, and lot of the bowlers, and even the Sri Lankans we have seen, the Hoss and the other one. Do you think that MRF can be the success formula of the Indian pace batting, which was never up to the par at certain levels of cricket in the 80s and 90s? We have seen the Pakistani pacemen and the Australian pacers, they were at the top. But right now, the cricket which India is playing and what they have done in Australia, they have made the history. So was it the backfire of the MRF Academy?
Well, not for me. I haven't had too much influence on any of the bowlers, fast bowlers in the Indian team at the moment, but that's why it was set up back in the 80s with Dennis Lilly and Ravi Maman. So it was to find express bowlers, and there's been quite a few young bowlers go through the MRF Pace Foundation to go on and represent India. I attended the MRF Pace Foundation back in 1992. I was lucky enough to represent my country, so it has had a major impact. And sort of moving forward, we're still producing good young cricketers with Khalil Ahmed, who's in the T20 one-day team. In respects to the Indian team, I did see Jasprit Bumrah only for a week, and I take no credit. I think what he's done since I saw him, he's an exceptional bowler. So India are very lucky with the bowling attack they have. There's some quality bowlers there, and so it's looking good for the future of Indian cricket.
And that was also from the MRF Foundation, the Khalil Ahmed, who have joined the team in Australia.
Yeah.
One of the recent additions from the MRF Academy. And how you were seeing them, these guys over there, Khalil over there?
Yeah, no, he's a young fellow. He's got plenty of energy. He just loves the game. He wants to learn as much as he can. And I was really proud that he went on to represent India in the shorter version of the game. And he's still got. I've been impressed with the way he's bowled. T20 is a tough form of the sport, or form of cricket for the fast bowlers. but he's learnt a lot, and I've been very impressed. Left armour, swings the ball, can get the ball through reasonably well. He thinks very well about the game, so yeah, I think he's got a big career in front of him too. And there's a couple other young bowlers coming through that I think can go on and do well too.
And when we were seeing that team under the Tim Payne was struggling after the ouster of David Warner and Steven Smith. But now I think the time has come that they are ready to join in the Pakistan series. I think from the third match onwards, if the selectors selected them, Warner and Steve Smith, both will be ready to join the Australian team. So what are you seeing the impact of Warner in the pre-preparations for the World Cup 2019, and where you are seeing the Australian squad, the balance of the Australian squad?
I think if you take the two best batsmen out of any team, it has a major impact. There's no doubt about that. Once they're banned, they've served their time. I dare say they'll be selected back into the squad, into the team, and hopefully have a positive impact. Steve Smith's a quality player. Dave Warner, aggressive, very good player as well. So I think they can have an impact. See how it all works. It's been a tough 12 months for both those players, but they have served their time, and now it's time to look for the future and just get back and play some good cricket.
And what are the Glenn McGrath's last four for the World Cup 2019?
Yeah,
Tough question.
it is tough. I'd like to see Australia there. I think they've got to improve a bit. To me, the top two teams at the moment are India. Obviously, in the one days they play quality form of the game, quality brand of cricket. England are very good. They're a very good one-day team. I like the way they go about it, and that's tough for me to say, being an Australian. But England, home soil. I think they're probably the two top teams at the moment. We've seen Ricky Ponting get added to the coaching staff for the Australian team, and he's very confident that the Australians can do well. So fingers crossed they can make the final four, and then who's going to make that other spot? So Pakistan playing some good cricket. West Indies, you just never rule out in the shorter version of the game. The way they've been playing against England, the Test series is quite remarkable. And then you've got Sri Lanka, you've got South Africa. Sri Lanka's win against South Africa in the Test just recently. So you just never know. I think it's good to see some of these teams winning away from home. But Test cricket and one-day cricket, totally different. World Cup is a very special tournament.
And Glenn, you are here in the North America and the Toronto region. So recently we are done with a G220 series, where we have seen the blitz of David Warner, Ben McDermott, the younger McDermott we have seen, we have seen Steve Smith, and a lot of other Australians were there. So you are not the part of the 20 team on the coaching side. Tom Moody we have seen with one of the franchise. Which of the franchise? Montreal Tigers. Yes, Montreal Tigers he was representing. So when we are seeing Glenn McGrath, it's one of the franchises.
It's funny, coaching was something I thought I'd never do, but I must say I am enjoying my work with the MRF Pace Foundation, and I think that's probably more what I want to do, more a little specific, probably more for fast bowling. Coaching a team is probably not my forte. I did a little bit with the Australia A team last year, doing my level 3, and I'm not sure it's me. So I think in short, intensive stints, come in, work with the team, work with the bowlers, could have some potential, but in respects to coaching a team, it's not what I want to do, and plus my MRF commitments stop me from coaching IPL style teams anyway. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Coaching a team is not something I want to do. Willie.
Amazing record of taking the wicket on the last ball of his T20, last ball of his Test cricket, last ball of his ODIs. We are going to play a very quick straight drive with Glenn McGrath. Favorite singer?
Favorite singer? Probably Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Movie called Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze.
Favorite drone?
Sydney Cricket Ground.
Best and favorite moments in the career?
First Test wicket, 500th Test wicket, and scoring a 50.
Most annoying thing?
Batsman.
Your best habit?
Best habit. What you see is what you get. Yeah, this is who I am.
Your worst habit?
I'm probably quite annoying myself.
When did you feel you were bowling at the other end and you were complete?
Having Shane Warne at the other end, we worked in good partnership, so I always enjoyed that.
Shane Warne once did a bet with the Glenn McGrath of 1,000 Australian dollars that at the end in the tail he can never make a 50, and Glenn did it with 55 in the Northamptonshire. What about that? What happened?
No, Shane thought I would score a 50, first class 50. Mark Waugh thought I wouldn't, and they had a little bet on it, like you said, $1,000. And when I finished my career, I asked Mark Waugh if he paid up, and he hadn't. So he donated that $1,000 to the McGrath Foundation. So that was nice. So it was nice that Shane had faith in my batting.
As a child, you used to bowl in the narrow main in a fuel drum of your dad. That does exist right now or not?
Probably not anymore. It was down around the sheds on the farm I grew up in. So that's where I learnt the skills.
Last part before saying the goodbye to Glenn McGrath, we will say the rapid fire and we will try to clean bowl Glenn McGrath. Best ever batsman you have ever bowled?
It's out of Sachin and Brian. I'd probably put Brian Lara slightly in front.
And best bowler you have ever faced?
Wasim Akram.
Worst batsman you have ever faced?
Worst batsman, maybe besides myself, either Alan Mullally or Devon Malcolm.
And worst bowler you have ever faced?
I think I might have faced Justin Langer in the net, so yeah.
Imran Khan, Dennis Lillee, Kapil Dev, Ian Botham and Richard Headley. Your pick.
My hero growing up was Dennis Lillee, so I have to go with him.
If Glenn McGrath has to face Michael Holding, Jewel Gardner, Malcolm Marshall, Andy Roberts, whom he will avoid?
All four of them.
If you would not have a cricketer?
Not sure. It's maybe something back in the country, in the bush.
Glenn McGrath will have to complete a sentence. Lee, Harvey, Australian dressing room, Stephen Waugh. Does it remind you of something?
No. What
Lee, Harvey and Oswald. And Oswald, who was the Oswald? Brett Lee. He was calling Brett Lee to pad up for the Oswald.
Okay. Well, there you go. See, I didn't even know that.
Your best roommate?
Best roommate? Probably Steve Waugh.
Your worst roommate?
Steve Waugh.
Brian Lara or Sachin?
It's hard to choose between them. Very close.
Shoaib Akhtar or Brett Lee?
Brett.
Thank you so much, Glenn. You were the part of the match point.
and we wish you good luck for your foundation, for the good cause, noble cause. And we also say thanks to the Fat Complex, Sports Complex, who made us facilitate to reach Glenn McGrath, one of the superstars of Australia. Thank you so much, Glenn.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn McGrath. Thank you, Fat Sportsplex. And finally, we are done with one of the greatest hero of his times and one of the greatest Aussie ever been produced in the history of cricket. And I promise you, when next time I will be coming on the Match Point, once again, we will be with another new superstar of the cricket. At the end, I just want to remind you that don't forget to follow me on the Twitter, DRADNANKHAN. It's a one word, Dr. Adnan Khan, at Instagram and the Twitters. And keep following us on the YouTube and the Facebook pages with the same name, Greatest Empire USA. Till then, take care and bye-bye.
been largely responsible for us over the last
The first World Cup, that is Australia's joy and England